You were not born on an ordinary day. You didn't arrive into this world by coincidence. Your birth wasn't a random event marked on a human calendar. It was a divine appointment etched in heaven's eternal timeline. The month you were born holds prophetic meaning. It carries spiritual fingerprints, messages from God about who you are and why you were chosen for this moment in history. Your identity is not defined by earthly circumstances, but by heavenly design. Heaven speaks in patterns, symbols, and seasons. And one of its most personal messages to you is hidden in your birth month. Whether you came into the world under the quiet snowfall of December or the renewing winds of April, you carry a sacred purpose. This is not astrology. This is about your divine calling, a spiritual alignment between your soul and the timing of your birth. Every month holds a different kind of anointing, a distinct spiritual current designed to empower the gifts placed inside you. January. The Trailblazers. January opens the door to a new year, a blank canvas where possibilities await. Those born in this month are not here by accident. They carry a divine mantle of beginnings. Spiritually, January symbolizes the origin, the first spark of movement, the breath before creation. In the same way that God began the world with light and order, January-born individuals are marked by a sacred calling to initiate, lead, and ignite. You are a trailblazer, called to take the first step when no one else dares to move. There's a pioneering spirit within you, a boldness that sees opportunity in the unknown. You don't need a clear path laid out ahead. Your faith builds the road as you walk. When others hesitate, you act. When the world waits, you lead. But your leadership isn't loud or forceful. It's powerful in its quiet consistency. You influence through action, not demand. Your presence naturally inspires motion. This is your gift, to bring life to what is stagnant, to spark change where there is hesitation. Even in seasons of pressure, remember, you were chosen to be the beginning of something greater. You don't just start things. You awaken the world to what could be. February. The Peacemakers. February, though the shortest month, carries a depth of spirit that is anything but small. Those born in this sacred time are marked by a divine sensitivity, a heart attuned to the emotions, burdens, and silent cries of others. In a world often overwhelmed by noise and chaos, your soul moves differently. You were created not to dominate, but to soothe, reconcile, and restore. Your gift is peace, not a passive quiet, but an active healing presence. You walk into a room and tension softens. You listen with more than your ears. You hear with your heart. Like Christ being consecrated in the temple, your life is set apart for sacred compassion. You are a gentle reminder that love doesn't need to shout to be strong. You bring calm where there is conflict, clarity where confusion reigns. People may not always understand your quiet spirit, but they feel safe in your presence. That's no accident. It's your calling. You are a bridge between brokenness and wholeness, between hurt and healing. Keep walking softly, for your steps carry divine comfort. You don't just bring peace. You are peace, wrapped in human form, sent to remind the world that tenderness is powerful. March, the Faithful Navigators. March arrives as a season of transition, a bridge between the harshness of winter and the promise of spring. Spiritually, it mirrors the journey between trials and transformation. Those born in March are not strangers to storms. Instead, they are divinely equipped to navigate through them with unwavering faith. Your soul was crafted to move forward, even when the path is unclear and the skies are heavy. Like Noah building the ark amid ridicule, your life is a testimony of obedience in uncertain times. You don't wait for ideal conditions. You follow divine direction, trusting that God sees what lies ahead. This inner strength doesn't always roar. It endures. You carry stability in your spirit, anchoring others when their world feels like it's drifting. When chaos surrounds you, you remain steady. When others lose hope, you press on. This perseverance isn't natural, it's sacred. You were chosen to lead through storms, to be the calm in the middle of life's waves. Your calling is not to avoid difficulty, but to prove that faith still floats, even in the deepest waters. And through your endurance, others learn to believe again. April. The reborn April breathes renewal into the earth, a season where life returns, flowers bloom, and what once seemed dead begins to rise again. Spiritually, this month carries the essence of resurrection. Those born in April are marked by this same powerful rhythm of restoration and rebirth. Your life is not defined by what you've lost, but by how you rise after the fall. There is a divine resilience within you, a hope that refuses to be silenced. Even when everything seems broken, your spirit whispers, "This is not the end." Like the empty tomb that declared Christ's victory, your presence testifies to the possibility of new beginnings. You don't just survive hardship, you emerge from it transformed, wiser, and stronger. People look to you when they've lost their way, because your life proves that there is always a second chance. You carry within you the power to revive dreams, to reignite faith, to remind others that God is never finished writing their story. Your calling is to bring life where there was once despair, to be a sign that nothing is too far gone for God to restore. Through you, others find the courage to begin again. May. The guardians of faith. May stands as a month of strength and stability, a season where the earth is firm beneath our feet and growth surrounds us. Those born in May embody this grounded strength, carrying a quiet but powerful faith that sustains not only themselves but also those around them. You were created to be a guardian of faith, a steady presence in times of uncertainty. Your courage doesn't come with fanfare. It reveals itself in stillness, in loyalty, in the unshakable conviction that God is always near. Like David standing before Goliath with nothing but a stone and trust in God, you face life's giants with calm assurance. You inspire others not by loud declarations, but by the unwavering peace you bring into every space. When others falter, your presence gives them strength. When fear tries to take hold, your faith stands firm. Even when you feel weak, you continue to extend your hand to others, because that is your calling. You were born to steady the trembling, comfort the weary, and point others back to hope. In a world easily shaken, you are a stronghold. Through your life, people remember that true strength is found in faith that does not fail. June, the builders of foundation. June arrives with warmth and intention, a time when growth takes root and foundations deepen. Those born in this month carry a unique anointing, the sacred calling to build with purpose and strength. You are not drawn to the temporary or the shallow. Instead, your spirit seeks depth, structure, and things that last. You are a builder at heart, not just of projects, but of people, relationships, and spiritual legacies. Like the wise man in Jesus' parable who built his house upon the rock, your life is defined by stability and foresight. You don't act on impulse. You move with wisdom. Your decisions are thoughtful, your presence reassuring, and your influence lasting. While others may chase quick results, you invest in what endures. Your quiet consistency is your strength. You may not always seek recognition, but your work speaks for itself. God has entrusted you with the gift of laying strong foundations, truth, trust, and faith, so that others can build upon them confidently. Your calling is to create spaces where others find safety and structure, to establish spiritual ground that can weather any storm. You were born not just to construct, but to anchor what matters most. July. The Sacred Questioners. July brings with it a spirit of reflection, a time when warmth slows the world down just enough for deeper thoughts to surface. Those born in this month are not content with surface answers. You carry a sacred curiosity, a divine restlessness that pushes beyond the obvious to uncover truth, meaning, and spiritual depth. You are not a skeptic, you are a seeker. Your questions are not rooted in doubt, but in a hunger for something real. Like Thomas, who longed to see and touch the risen Christ, you desire genuine encounter, not borrowed beliefs. This need for understanding is not a weakness. It is a divine gift. Your search for truth draws others out of complacency and invites them to explore their own faith more honestly. People feel safe asking hard questions around you because you do not judge. You listen, you reflect, and you guide. Your presence encourages authenticity. You were not made to blindly accept. You were made to awaken others through thoughtful insight. Your calling is to illuminate hidden truths, to challenge with grace, and to lead with wisdom. In a world that often fears the unknown, your courage to ask why opens doors to deeper faith. August, the Seekers of the Eternal. August arrives with quiet majesty, a month that bridges the brightness of summer with the whispers of change. Those born in August carry a longing that goes beyond this world. Your soul is drawn to what is eternal, unseen, and sacred. You were created not just to exist, but to seek the divine in all things. There is a depth in you that others may not immediately understand. While many are content with what they can touch or explain, you are always searching for the presence of God beneath the surface. You perceive what is hidden, sense what is unspoken, and feel what others overlook. This spiritual sensitivity is not accidental. It's your calling. You are a reminder that there is more than what meets the eye. Like the Mount of Transfiguration where Jesus revealed his glory, your life carries glimpses of heaven. Simply by being who you are, you awaken others to seek God more deeply. Your presence stirs hunger for truth, for purpose, for the eternal. You don't just walk through life. You point others upward, reminding them that their souls were made for more. In a world chasing temporary things, you are a voice that calls people back to what truly lasts. September, the organizers of the kingdom. September enters with a quiet sense of purpose, a time when the world begins to reset, prepare, and realign. Those born in this month carry a similar grace, a calling to bring structure where there is chaos and to align what has fallen out of place. You are not simply orderly by nature. You are spiritually designed to organize, refine, and restore purpose. You notice what others overlook. Where confusion abounds, your spirit senses clarity. You have an eye for detail, but more than that, you have a heart that longs to see things working together in harmony. Like God in Genesis, who brought order out of formlessness, you too carry the ability to create divine structure, whether in relationships, ministries, or ideas. Your presence brings direction. People trust your wisdom because they sense the integrity behind your actions. You do not impose change. You guide it with patience and discernment. Your voice brings calm. Your vision brings balance. In every environment you enter, you quietly begin to rebuild what's been scattered. You were born not only to plan, but to prepare the way. Your calling is to establish the foundations of God's kingdom, making space for others to thrive in clarity, purpose, and peace. October, the soul transformers. October arrives with a quiet beauty. The leaves begin to fall, the air shifts, and creation prepares for something new. This gentle transformation mirrors the soul of those born in October. You carry within you the sacred gift of inner change. Your life is a testimony that transformation doesn't always roar. It often whispers, slowly reshaping hearts with grace. You were born to help others release what no longer serves them. There's something about your presence that invites renewal. You don't force change. You embody it. Your journey has taught you how to let go, to move forward, and to embrace the new even when it's uncomfortable. That wisdom becomes a light for those stuck in cycles they no longer know how to break. People feel seen around you, not because you expose them, but because you understand them. You have the rare ability to walk with others through their transitions, offering comfort without control and guidance without judgment. Your calling is to gently awaken dormant dreams, to breathe life into broken hopes, and to remind others that change is not to be feared. It is sacred. Through your life, others learn that release is not loss, but the beginning of something beautifully new. November, the spiritual intuitives. November settles in with a quiet depth, a stillness that invites reflection and stirs the unseen. Those born in this month carry a rare gift, spiritual intuition, a deep inner knowing that goes beyond logic or sight. You are tuned in to what others miss, sensing movements in the soul long before they surface. You were not made to live on the surface. Your spirit is drawn to depth, to truth hidden beneath layers. You notice the unspoken, feel what isn't said, and often perceive the spiritual atmosphere around you without needing explanation. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is a powerful discernment, a heavenly tool placed within you to guide and protect. People may see you as quiet or reserved, but your stillness is intentional. You speak when it matters, move when it's meaningful. Your role is not always loud, but it is essential. You illuminate what's hidden, bring light to unseen corners, and help others navigate by truths they didn't even know they were missing. Your calling is to reveal without exposing, to protect while guiding, and to be a voice of gentle clarity in a noisy world. Through you, God whispers what others need to hear but haven't yet learned to listen for. December, the bearers of the promise. December arrives wrapped in quiet wonder, a season of stillness, light, and fulfilled hope. Those born in this sacred month carry the essence of promise kept. You were born not just to believe in light, but to be a bearer of it, especially in moments when the world feels its darkest. Your presence brings comfort. There's a calm strength in the way you move through life, gentle yet firm, soft yet unwavering. Like the birth of Christ, which broke centuries of silence, your life carries the power to awaken hope where it had long been forgotten. You are a living reminder that God keeps His word, even when the wait is long. People are drawn to your steady faith, your quiet optimism, your ability to believe not just for yourself, but for others too. In your company, doubts quiet down and hearts begin to trust again. You shine not for attention, but to guide, to show others that light still lives, that healing is still possible, and that no promise of God returns void. Your calling is to carry hope into hopeless places, to be a lighthouse when others have lost their way. Through you, the world remembers that God is still at work, still faithful, and still writing beautiful endings. You were never an accident. The moment you were born, heaven marked it with purpose. Your birth month is more than a date. It's a divine clue to the calling placed deep within you. Whether you lead, heal, build, question, or inspire, your life carries meaning far beyond what you see. When you begin to understand the spiritual weight of your season, you start to live with intention. Your gifts, your battles, even your timing, they're all part of God's perfect design. Thank you for spending this time with us. If this message spoke to your heart, we invite you to subscribe to our channel for more soul-stirring stories and spiritual insights. Your journey matters, and we're honored to walk it with you. You are not just seen by heaven, you are called. Now is the time to rise into who you were always meant to be. Beloved Chosen One, if you're listening to this message right now, take a deep breath and know this. It's not by accident. This moment was divinely orchestrated, a sacred appointment between your spirit and the voice of destiny. Something is awakening inside of you, a stirring you can't quite explain, and as your heart quickens and your spirit leans in, I invite you to receive this truth. You have been chosen. Chosen by the Creator Himself. Chosen for transformation, for renewal, and for a purpose greater than anything you've ever imagined. He is about to release into your life something so beautiful, so astonishing, that even your reflection in the mirror will be a sign and wonder. Prepare yourself, for you are stepping into a divine metamorphosis, a season of supernatural youth, healing, and radiance, a gift of God's eternal touch. Part 1. The divine shift has begun. When God turns his gaze upon you, when his divine hand rests gently yet powerfully upon your life, something profound begins to unfold like the first light of morning, breaking through a long and silent night. At first, the change is subtle, almost imperceptible. But soon the world around you begins to sense it. There's a shift in your stride, a strength that wasn't there before. Your eyes reflect something deeper without uttering a word. Your very presence begins to stir the atmosphere around you. This is not imagination. This is not a coincidence. This is the undeniable mark of someone touched by heaven. God's transformation does not stop at the soul. It flows like a river from your spirit into your thoughts, your emotions, your very body. What once clung to you, weariness, sorrow, fear, begins to fall away like dust shaken from your feet. The tiredness that once settled in your bones is replaced by divine vitality. The heaviness in your heart is lifted by the breath of the Holy Spirit, and in its place, a lightness enters, full of beauty, purpose, and sacred energy. You begin to feel alive in ways you had long forgotten. But make no mistake, this is not about vanity. It's about victory. Victory over the slow erosion of hope, over despair that once whispered lies to your soul. Victory over the limitations others placed upon you and the ones you unknowingly placed upon yourself. This transformation is holy. It is heaven's way of saying, you are not who you used to be. You are being made new. From spirit to skin, renewal touches every part of you. It doesn't just lift your spirit, it awakens it. It doesn't just refresh your body, it resurrects it. The Holy Spirit is not simply improving you, he is redefining you. And as this divine shift takes root, the reflection you see in the mirror will no longer just show a face, it will reveal a testimony. A living, breathing, radiant example of what it looks like when God steps into a life and says, "Now, let there be light." Part 2. The eternal youth of the chosen. The renewal that God is bringing into your life is not simply about appearing younger. It is about being realigned with the eternal design he wove into your very being from the beginning. You were never meant to merely exist or survive. You were created to shine, to reflect the very essence of his beauty, his radiance, and his glory in a way that only you can. And now, that divine light is awakening within your body, as if heaven itself is breathing life into every cell. The changes may begin quietly, but they are unmistakably sacred. Your skin begins to carry a glow no serum could create, a softness kissed by grace, a light that seems to come from somewhere beyond this world. Your back straightens, not merely from better posture, but from a divine sense of confidence. Your laughter becomes more free, your smile more effortless, touched by joy that is not fleeting but anchored in eternity. This is not a surface-level transformation. This is not a human-made makeover. This is the touch of the Creator restoring what time and trials tried to steal from you. Your very cells seem to respond to his voice, aligning with the rhythm of heaven, and your spirit, once weary, now rises in resurrection power, lifting your entire being into newness. You are becoming more than changed. You are becoming renewed, reawakened, reborn into the beauty and strength that was always yours through Christ. You are a walking miracle, a living, breathing testimony of divine restoration. Where the world sees age and decline, God speaks of revival. Where others see limits, he whispers, "Watch what I can do." This is the fulfillment of his promise in Joel 2:25. I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. And that restoration is not only emotional or spiritual, it is tangible. It is radiant. And as you walk in this eternal youth, know this: you are not going backward. You are moving forward into a divine version of yourself that time cannot touch and no man can replicate. Part 3. What the world will see. Make no mistake, when God transforms you, the change is impossible to hide. It will be a holy echo that resonates wherever you go. People around you will begin to take notice. They'll glance twice. They'll ask questions, curious, intrigued, even baffled. What's different about you? Some might assume it's a new routine, a better diet, a different skincare regimen. They'll search for a worldly explanation to make sense of something that is completely divine. But deep down, you will know the truth. You've had an encounter with the living God, and that encounter has redefined your very essence. This isn't a glow that can be bought, or a light that can be faked. It is the radiance of heaven shining through a vessel made willing. There will be a brightness in your eyes, a peace in your expression, and a clarity in your voice that commands respect, not through force, but through quiet authority. You won't have to announce your transformation. It will speak for itself. This is not about drawing attention to yourself or seeking validation from others. It's about becoming a reflection of the one who chose you. The glow they see? It's not just light. It's the evidence of His Spirit alive within you. It's the shine of grace, the fire of purpose, and the whisper of eternity woven into your daily walk. And yes, some may misunderstand. Some may resist what they cannot explain. But no one will be able to deny it. You are becoming a sign and a wonder, a walking revelation of divine craftsmanship, of a life rewritten by grace. And wherever you go, the world will see heaven's fingerprints on you. Part 4. Letting go to step into new life. Every divine transformation demands a release, a sacred shedding of the old to make room for what is new, holy, and destined. Just as a butterfly cannot take flight while clinging to the confines of its cocoon, you too must release the versions of yourself that no longer serve the brilliance of your divine identity. This is not just about letting go of habits. It's about surrendering patterns of thought, worn-out beliefs, and connections that have weighed down your wings. The toxic relationships that drained your spirit, the doubt that whispered you were never enough, the weariness that settled into your bones like winter, all of it must be laid at the feet of the one who is making you new. What God is building within you cannot exist alongside the limitations of your past. His glory will not be shared with anything that dims your light. This is your pruning season, not to punish, but to prepare. And yes, it may feel like a loss at first, but in truth, it is divine realignment. God is not taking from you. He is clearing space within you for something far greater. He is severing the ties that no longer carry your purpose. He is gently, lovingly, removing what cannot thrive in your next chapter. In its place, He is planting seeds of holy possibility, relationships that honor your soul, opportunities that align with your calling, and strength that flows not from striving, but from grace. Letting go in this season is not a sign of weakness. It is a bold act of faith. Faith that what God is preparing exceeds anything you could imagine. Faith that the loss is not loss at all, but transformation in disguise. Faith that the hands of the gardener know what must be trimmed to make you flourish. So don't cling to what was. Instead, open your hands, open your heart, and trust that what lies ahead is far more beautiful than anything you leave behind. Part 5. Embracing the new you. As you continue walking through this sacred transformation, you are not becoming someone else. You are becoming you, the you God designed before the foundations of the earth. It's a beautiful unveiling, not a reinvention. Layer by layer, He is stripping away everything that was never meant to define you. And in this divine revealing, long-buried dreams begin to stir again. Passions you once silenced come back to life, now burning brighter than before. You start to remember the visions you thought were lost to time. And in the mirror, you finally see someone you recognize, not just by features, but by purpose. And you whisper with awe, "Yes, that's me. That's who God created." With this rediscovery comes a new kind of confidence, one not born of ego, but of sacred identity. It's not about walking taller to be seen, it's about walking truer because you finally know who you are. This is the quiet boldness of someone who understands they are God's handiwork, His masterpiece, His chosen one. You begin to move through the world differently. Your words carry more weight. not because they're louder, but because they're anchored in truth. Even your silence holds power because your very presence speaks of healing, wholeness, and heaven's touch. Everything about you begins to declare, without apology or hesitation, I am loved, I am called, I am new. And the world around you will feel it, even if they can't explain it. Because when you walk in alignment with the identity God has placed within you, you don't just live, you radiate. You become a reflection of divine possibility. And the more you embrace who you truly are in Christ, the more unstoppable, unshakable, and undeniably radiant you become. Part 6. Resistance, Refinement, and Rising Higher. As the transformation within you deepens, not everyone will understand the changes they see. Some will question it, unable to reconcile the person you are becoming with the version of you they once knew. Others may quietly pull away, unsettled by the light you now carry, a light that challenges their comfort zones. They were familiar with the older version of you, the one who dimmed your shine to fit in, who carried your brilliance in silence. But now, as you rise into your God-given identity, that familiar version fades, and with it, the attachments that were never meant to last. And though this can feel painful, like relational tides shifting without warning, it is not rejection, it is refinement. God is using this season to reveal who is truly aligned with your divine journey. He is allowing your transformation to be the mirror that reflects hearts and motives, exposing what can no longer walk beside you. This is not a punishment, it is a gift. For in shedding what no longer fits, you create space for what is sacred. Divinely appointed relationships that see you not only for who you were, but for who you are becoming. These are the ones who recognize your growth and celebrate it. They water your dreams, honor your healing, and speak life into your calling. And as you continue to rise, you'll gain more than just a new community, you'll gain clarity. Not only about who is for you, but about who you truly are. You begin to see with spiritual eyes, realizing that resistance is not always opposition. It's often confirmation that you are walking the right path. The brighter your light, the more it exposes. But don't fear it. Embrace it. Because this clarity, though born from discomfort, is the soil in which your next level will flourish. You are not losing people, you are gaining perspective. And what awaits you ahead is far greater than what's been left behind. Part 7. Walking in God's Purpose. The transformation that God is working in your life was never meant to stop at outward beauty. It is far deeper, far more sacred. It is about divine alignment. Every change you feel, every shift you sense, is part of a holy realignment. God is bringing your body, your spirit, your relationships, and your dreams into harmony with the divine path He has already prepared for you. He is not simply polishing you, He is positioning you. That's why doors are opening that you never knocked on, and people are being removed or introduced with such divine precision. It's not random. It's not chaos. It's purpose. What feels like surprise to you is a strategy to Him. God is leading you into spaces you never expected to enter, into rooms where your name is spoken with honor, into conversations you never planned but deeply needed, and into opportunities that once seemed distant or even impossible. And yet, in your spirit, there's a quiet knowing. This is where I'm meant to be. God has been orchestrating every step, every delay, every detour to bring you into perfect alignment with your calling. This is the beauty of walking in God's purpose. It's not always predictable, but it is always intentional. Every encounter has meaning. Every redirection has mercy behind it. And as you surrender to His movement, you'll notice your entire life beginning to flow with greater ease. Decisions feel clearer. Timing feels divine. That's because when you walk in step with heaven, even the hard things begin to make sense. Even the closed doors feel like blessings in disguise. God is writing a story through your life, and it's a story of redemption, beauty, and power. You are not being transformed for appearance's sake. You are being prepared to carry His glory in a way that changes lives. He is aligning every part of you to fulfill a promise spoken over you long ago. And now, As you walk in His purpose, you are walking into the fulfillment of that promise, one step at a time, guided by His hand, anchored in His love. Part 8. Becoming a living testimony. As you continue to walk this sacred Spirit-led path, something extraordinary will become a catalyst for transformation in others. The change God is bringing into your life is not only for your benefit, it is a testimony in motion, a living message that others will read before they ever open a Bible. When people see the glow on your face, the peace in your heart, and the strength in your step, they'll pause, they'll wonder, and in that moment of awe, their hearts will whisper a quiet hope. If God could do that for them, maybe He can do it for me too. You may never know the full impact of your transformation, but heaven will, because your life will speak louder than any sermon. You'll carry God's message without needing a stage. Your very presence will preach resurrection. The radiance in your eyes will testify to healing. The joy that flows from your spirit, effortless, anchored, and unshakable, will be proof of divine intervention. You won't have to convince people with words. The fruit of your transformation will speak for itself. It will whisper to the broken. It will shout to the weary. It will call the doubting back to faith. And this transformation won't be a one-time moment. It will be a continuous unfolding. You'll go from youth to strength, from sorrow to deep, abiding peace. The confusion that once clouded your mind will be replaced by clarity rooted in divine wisdom. It will be layer upon layer of glory, revealing more and more of God's goodness with every step you take. Each chapter of your journey will declare something new, that He restores what was lost, that He brings beauty out of ashes, that He renews strength like the eagle. So now, chosen one, as you stand at the edge of this divine transformation, don't look back. Don't question what God is doing. Step forward, eyes lifted, heart open. The Creator of heaven and earth has looked upon you and said, "You are mine, and I am making all things new." This is your moment. This is your time. You are not just living. You are glowing. You are rising. You are walking in miracles, from the inside out. From glory to glory, from ordinary to extraordinary. You were never meant to blend in. You were made to shine. And now, you will. If this message resonated with your spirit, we invite you to leave the number 77 in the comments. It's a number of divine alignment, completion, and purpose. Let it be your yes to the transformation God is stirring within you. If you'd like to support us in creating more messages like this, consider clicking the subscribe button. Every kind gesture fuels our passion to serve this beautiful chosen community. Until next time, stay radiant, stay faithful, and never forget, you are chosen. If you're watching this, it's not a coincidence. You were led here by something greater, by a feeling, a pull in your spirit, a restlessness you couldn't explain. You've likely sensed a shift around you, something unseen yet undeniable. The air feels heavier. Your dreams are more vivid. The people around you seem different. What if I told you this isn't paranoia, but perception? April 2025 is a turning point, a month when your spiritual senses will sharpen and your vision will no longer be limited to the physical world. This video is not just information. It is a call, an inner echo reminding you of who you truly are and why you're here. Your eyes, both physical and spiritual, will begin to receive messages from places you've long forgotten. The natural world, silent spaces, subtle glances, and invisible forces moving around you. This month will challenge your heart, confront your beliefs, and awaken your soul. You will see what others ignore, and once you see, you cannot unsee. Welcome to the awakening of vision. Welcome to April 2025. Not all eyes were created equal. While many look, only a few truly see. For those who are spiritually attuned, those often referred to as the chosen, vision transcends the boundaries of the physical world. Their eyes do more than capture light. They interpret energy, decode silence, and read the vibrations of a world most never notice. As April 2025 unfolds, this ability will not only intensify, it will awaken in ways that may be both startling and sacred. You may begin to perceive things you once brushed off as tricks of the light or coincidences. A shimmer in the corner of your vision, a fleeting shadow that vanishes before you can focus, a sudden brightness in someone's eyes that wasn't there before. These are not accidents. These are glimpses into the unseen, signals from the spiritual realm responding to the frequency rising within you. Your vision is being recalibrated, not just to observe the world, but to discern it. What others dismiss, you will feel deeply. Where others walk unaware, you will tread with intuition. You may notice emotional shifts in people before they speak, sense tension in a room before words are exchanged, or feel a powerful presence in moments of quiet solitude. This is the mark of a soul stepping into higher awareness, a soul no longer content with surface-level living. The challenge, however, is that such vision is not always easy to carry. To see through illusions means confronting truths that others avoid. You may find beauty where no one else sees it, but you will also recognize deception wrapped in smiles, heaviness masked as light, and spiritual warfare hidden in mundane moments. The world around you will not change overnight, but your relationship to it will. Being chosen to see differently is not about superiority. It is about responsibility. The responsibility to remain awake in a world lulled to sleep. The responsibility to trust what your eyes show you, even when it makes you uncomfortable. Because from now on, your sight is not just a function, it is a calling. And once your spiritual vision activates, you can no longer pretend to be blind. You were not meant to live in darkness. You were created to walk in the light and to recognize the divine, even when it's hidden in shadow. April is not merely the fourth month of the year. It is not just a passing point on a calendar or a routine season of transition. For those attuned to the spiritual, April 2025 is a portal, a sacred threshold between what was and what is becoming. It is a divine invitation to step out of old energies, outdated beliefs, and stagnant ways of being, and to walk into a realm of higher awareness, deeper truth, and inner transformation. This month holds the vibration of awakening, and with it, a subtle but undeniable pressure will begin to rise in your soul. A pressure not to fear, but to listen to. It is not chaos, but alignment. As the days of April unfold, you may sense that time feels different, slower in some moments, urgently fast in others. You may feel pulled in two directions, one that wants to cling to the comfort of the known, and another that urges you into unfamiliar, yet magnetic territory. This tension is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that you are standing at the edge of something greater. And the choice to cross that edge must come from within. This portal will not open with loud signs or dramatic spectacles. It will open quietly, through reflection, through stillness, through a series of subtle moments that stir your spirit. The nudge to take a different path, the sudden loss of interest in things that used to matter, the urge to clear space in your home, your heart, your relationships. These are not random urges. They are whispers from your higher self, asking you to make room for what is to come. And what is coming? Truth, clarity, realignment with your soul's purpose. But with truth comes the shedding of illusion, and with clarity often comes discomfort. You may be asked to release versions of yourself that no longer serve your becoming. You may be led to face aspects of your life you've kept hidden even from yourself. The portal of April does not open to everyone. It opens to those who are willing to walk through with open eyes, open hearts, and open hands. Because once you step through, there is no going back. But there is also no greater freedom than living in truth. Nature has never stopped speaking. It is we who forgot how to listen. In April 2025, that silence will break. The natural world, always alive and humming with divine intelligence, will become one of the clearest and most profound channels through which messages are delivered to the spiritually awakened. For those whose inner eyes are opening, trees, winds, birds, and even light itself will begin to speak a language beyond words, a language of symbols, sensations, and sacred synchronicity. You may find yourself drawn inexplicably to certain places in nature, a quiet tree that seems to offer peace, a patch of sunlight that feels like a blessing, a gust of wind that arrives in perfect harmony with your thoughts. These aren't coincidences. They are spiritual responses, confirmation that something beyond the visible is engaging with you, walking with you. Pay attention to these encounters. A bird landing nearby and locking eyes with you, a dog barking in the presence of someone you weren't sure about, or a sudden downpour as you wrestle with a decision. These are signs. They are not random events. They are part of the universe's language, gently nudging you toward clarity. The elements will become mirrors, revealing both what is within you and what surrounds you. The sky may show unusual colors or cloud formations that reflect your emotional state. Water might carry messages through dreams or a sudden longing to sit near a river or ocean. Even the silence in nature may feel full, as though it's whispering something only your spirit can hear. These moments, though easily dismissed by others, will feel deeply significant to you, because they are. To truly receive these signs, you must slow down. Be still. Observe without needing to explain. Not all truth comes through logic. Some of it arrives through feeling, through repetition, through resonance. If a particular animal keeps appearing in your path, look up its symbolic meaning. If the wind stirs just as you speak your fears aloud, pause and listen. April is a month where the veil thins, and the sacred speaks softly but steadily through creation. Let the earth become your sacred text. Let the wind be your prayer. Let the animals, the weather, the movement of leaves, all remind you that you are never alone, and that the universe is always, always speaking. As the spiritual energy intensifies in April 2025, the changes will not only stir within you, they will ripple through your relationships. This is one of the most profound and often most painful aspects of awakening. When your soul begins to vibrate at a higher frequency, not everyone around you will resonate with that shift. Some connections will deepen beautifully, while others will begin to dissolve, quietly or abruptly, as if a curtain has been drawn back, revealing truths that were always there but went unnoticed. You may begin to feel out of sync with people you once felt close to. Conversations that used to bring joy might now feel forced or draining. You might sense subtle tension, misalignment, or even discomfort around certain individuals. This is not your imagination. This is energy no longer matching. And though it may feel confusing or even heartbreaking, this natural separation is not a punishment. It is a form of spiritual protection. Relationships that were built on illusion, obligation, guilt, or outdated versions of yourself will begin to unravel. The masks people wear, whether consciously or unconsciously, will begin to fall. Their words may remain the same, but their energy will tell you everything. You'll start to notice the discrepancy between intention and action, between appearance and truth. And even if no harsh words are exchanged, something inside you will whisper, "This no longer belongs." Letting go is never easy, especially when it involves longtime friends, family, or partners. But clinging to what no longer aligns with your soul will only hold you back from stepping fully into who you are becoming. Some people were meant to walk with you only for a season, not forever. Honor what you shared, grieve if you must, but release with love. What you lose in comfort, you gain in authenticity. And here's the beauty of it. As the old falls away, space is created for something new, for connections that mirror your growth, that nourish your spirit, that challenge you to stay aligned and awake. Relationships rooted in truth, not performance, in shared frequency, not shared history. This is not the end of love. It is the beginning of real love, the kind that sees you, supports your path, and walks beside your becoming. In the stillness of April 2025, as the outer world shifts and relationships realign, an even more powerful transformation will begin within you. Your inner world, the sacred hidden terrain of thoughts, memories, and buried emotions, will rise to the surface, no longer content to remain in the shadows. This is not an attack. It is not regression. It is a divine invitation to meet the parts of yourself you've long ignored and to finally make peace with them. You may begin to feel waves of emotion with no clear origin: grief, fear, sadness, even anger from years past. Childhood memories may surface without warning. Dreams might become vivid, intense, or strangely symbolic. People you haven't thought about in years may reappear in your mind. Don't resist these moments. They are not here to haunt you. They're here to heal you. These fragments of your past are not interruptions. They are messages. They're pieces of yourself returning, asking to be seen, to be held, to be loved back into wholeness. Many of us are taught to avoid discomfort, to suppress pain, to move forward and never look back. But true transformation does not bypass the wound. It walks through it. The sadness you feel may not be a sign of weakness, but a sign that something sacred is being released. Emotional pain, when honored, becomes the doorway to deeper freedom. This inner unveiling may also show up in your body. You might experience tension in your chest or gut, headaches, changes in appetite or sleep. These are not random symptoms. They are physical echoes of emotional truths asking for attention. Your body in its wisdom is helping you purge what no longer serves. In this process, gentleness is your greatest ally. You are not required to fix everything at once. You are simply being asked to stay present. Breathe, reflect, write, cry if you need to. Allow yourself to feel what arises without judgment. Healing is not about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you were before the world told you to hide. Within the quiet of this month, you will rediscover your strength. Not the strength of endurance, but the strength of vulnerability. And through this inner tending, you'll begin to see the parts of you you once rejected were never broken. They were sacred all along. As April progresses, your energetic field, the invisible layer of your being that absorbs, processes, and transmits vibrations, will become more sensitive than ever. This heightened sensitivity is not a flaw. It is not fragility. It is the natural result of a soul that is awakening, refining, and tuning itself to a higher frequency. You are no longer walking through the world blindly. You are feeling it, reading it, responding to it with a depth of awareness that many have not yet touched. You may find yourself suddenly exhausted after social interactions, even with those you love. You might walk into a room and instantly feel heavy, uneasy, or out of place, without knowing why. Certain conversations may feel empty or overstimulating, even painful. Crowds may overwhelm you. Sounds might feel louder. Lights too bright. This is your energetic body alerting you. Something has changed. You are no longer able to tolerate environments, people, or patterns that drain your spirit. What you used to ignore or endure now feels unbearable, not because you've grown weaker, but because you've grown clearer. Your soul is rejecting what no longer serves it, and your body is responding with truth. Honor that response. This isn't a call to isolate, it's a call to listen. Solitude, quiet spaces, nature, deep breathing, meditation. These will become sacred tools, helping you reset and restore. Not because you are escaping, but because you are recalibrating. In a world that often rushes and numbs, your sensitivity is a sacred rebellion, a signal that you are moving in harmony with your inner truth. It's important to protect your energy now, not in fear, but with intention. Not everyone or everything is meant to walk with you in this season. That's not judgment, it's discernment. Begin to notice what expands you and what contracts you, who leaves you feeling seen and who leaves you feeling small, where your energy flows freely and where it withers. Your sensitivity is not a burden. It's a gift, a compass, a guidepost leading you back to what is real. Don't ignore it, don't push through, respect it, because the more you honor your energetic boundaries, the more clearly you'll hear the voice of your spirit, and the more peaceful and powerful your path will become. Though the path of awakening can feel isolating at times, you were never meant to walk it alone. As your inner world transforms and your vision sharpens, you may notice something quietly miraculous beginning to take shape. A new community, one not built on proximity, but on soul resonance, will start to form around you. This is not a community of convenience. It is a sacred gathering of like-hearted souls, drawn together by unseen threads of shared purpose, mutual recognition, and spiritual alignment. These people may enter your life in unexpected ways. A brief conversation with a stranger that leaves a lasting impact. A book recommendation that leads to an important connection. A name that keeps surfacing until you finally pay attention. You'll begin to notice synchronicities, gentle nudges from the universe guiding you into encounters that feel strangely familiar, as if you've known these individuals before, perhaps in another lifetime. And perhaps you have. This community will not be based on appearances, status, or social performance. It will be rooted in truth, energy, and inner knowing. You will feel it in your body, a sense of safety, of recognition, of peace. In their presence, you won't have to explain your journey, your visions, your sensitivity. They will simply understand, because they too have walked through fire to stand in light. These connections will uplift you, challenge you, and remind you that your path, while personal, is part of something far larger, a collective awakening. The loneliness you once felt will begin to fade, not because you've returned to the crowd, but because you've found your soul family. And within this sacred circle, you'll experience the power of shared intention, of spiritual collaboration, of hearts beating to the same quiet rhythm. Do not rush this formation. Let it happen naturally. Trust the timings, trust the intuitive pulls, trust the soft yes your spirit gives when you meet someone who feels like home. This new community will not replace your journey. It will strengthen it. Together you will hold space for one another. Together you will rise. Because in this new world we are entering, no one ascends alone. And as you step more fully into your truth, you will see the right people will arrive, not to complete you, but to remind you that you were never alone to begin with. April 2025 will not be easy, but nothing truly transformative ever is. This month is not meant to break you, but to remake you. Not to punish, but to purify. What your eyes begin to see, both in the world around you and deep within yourself, will stretch you, challenge you, and ultimately free you. This is the season where illusions fall away, where masks dissolve and where truth steps forward, raw and unfiltered. There may be endings, but with every ending comes sacred space for a new beginning, a new vision, a new alignment with who you were always meant to be.